Say hello to the stars, little earthlings. Oh, how exciting! Another ring around the earth and another video. Today we'll be talking about a show that has been a topic of conversation among artists for its interesting character design and memorable writing. Good or bad depending on your own perspective. And that will be the one, the only, Hazbin Hotel! Yes, you heard that right, humans. Today we'll be talking and drawing inspiration from Vivzy Pop's budding project, Hazbin Hotel. Now, before we start, I just want to say that these reimagined designs will be based off the characters in the show, and they will have vastly different designs than the ones in the original. Reason being, I already created a few redesigns of each character on my Twitter and TikTok. Go follow, if you want, no pressure. And since there are so many characters introduced to us in a very short amount of time, I will be giving each character their own video for easier consumption. And because it gives me time to really talk about my thoughts and ideas without having to worry about a time crunch. And starting off strong, we will be taking Disney Princess of Hell herself, Charlie Morningstar, and reimagining her into how I think she would have been personally. So, sit back, pick up a brush, and let's paint the galaxy together. Starting with Charlie, I drastically changed her from her original design. Reason being, I kind of got tired of all the suits. Yes, I understand that it comes with Vivzy's trademark, but for me personally, I need more variety, as well as more personality, because don't get me wrong, I think Charlie is a fun character, but she just doesn't have enough personality on her own. Or at least not enough for us to see anyway. So instead of her being skinny while wearing a red suit, I made her more buxom, wearing something more relaxed and comfortable for her due to how I envisioned her this time around. Because while drawing her, my little brain was just screaming cottagecore! Or cottagecore adjacent, purely because of the whole Disney princess vibe Charlie had in the show. And I really wanted to hone in on the princess who lives out in the modest cottage in the woods. Because of this, I decided to trade out the hotel and instead gave her a bed and breakfast that offers sinners a place to escape and learn how to heal in the countryside. I like to think she called it Hell's Garden. A little play on words because of Eden's Garden, you know what I'm going with. I also wanted to make her look completely different from the others, as this form is made to comfort sinners as they come across her little bed and breakfast. Which is why I completely took away all the sharp features from the show and replaced them with softer curves, from her face shape to the curl of her hair, all the way down to her body shape, which I will admit, I really enjoyed her body shape as it came out. I always found women that are very curvy with a very cute pouch just absolutely stunning. And since her mother is Lilith, I felt as her daughter she would have had some very nice assets. Gotta love women, man. The reason why I wanted to change her so drastically, not only for legal purposes, but because when you all see her standing next to everyone in the cast, she will clearly be the odd man out. Think a small Pomeranian in the middle of a pack of Dobermans. She's the only soft one in this group of edge and angst. You can also see that through her colors, with her soft strawberry blonde hair, freckled ivory skin, even going to her purple eyes. Which, little side note, I like the idea that the Prince of Hell have eye hues and blood colors being that of the same shade of their respective sin. For example, purple is the shade of pride. So for Lucifer, he will have striking purple eyes, and if cut, he will bleed purple blood. And the same goes for the other princess and their offspring. Pretty clever, huh? And clearly not a takeaway from a certain fandom from between 2009 and 2016. Clearly not that! Ah! Sorry. Sorry. So, running with that, I gave my reimagined Charlie purple eyes, and I gave her mouth different shades of purple, which honestly helps giving her color palette variation instead of having a total of 4 to 5 colors. And yes, I know, it helps animators when they're drawing her frame by frame, but when you look at her and compare her to Husk and Serpentious, you can see some imbalance there, even though she's the main character of the show. Honestly, I would have thought she would have had a bit more pizzazz, since she is the main character. And this whole show is revolved around her and her aspirations to redeem sinners. I should probably stop there. or else I end up ranting a bit too long and we don't have enough time for that. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy the show. I just hope that in the next season we get to see her develop a bit more as a character and how she reacts when new situations unfold in front of her. Because unfortunately right now, she's a bit of a blank slate, which isn't ideal for a main character with a show that is supposed to be about them. Now, before I start ranting, let's get back to my reimagined version of Charlie. When creating her, I wanted to give her a very warm, a very welcoming vibe, so that way it'll be easier for her to convince Lost Souls to stay in Hell's Garden. That way she can help them in any way she can without having them be wary about her off the bat. You know, a sort of catching flies with honey rather than vinegar sort of approach, which I like to say I achieved quite nicely. Which is the whole reason why I traded out the suit for a very nice cropped sweater with jeans and bell bottoms and little slippers. You might have already noticed, but I decided to give the apple-themed clothes to her this time around. Through her sweater hem design and apple blossom flowers on her apron and her hair clips. I also decided to give her ram horns instead of those torn porky horns she has. Now, the reason I decided to keep her horns to this design is purely because, as a Hellborn, I wanted there to be obvious traits to separate her from the sinners. Also, another tidbit about that. In the show, a lot of artists have been very confused of who is a demon, aka a Hellborn, and who is a sinner. Since in the show, the term demon has been used interchangeably between the two, and it's been very difficult to separate them, especially design-wise, as some sinners look too monstrous while the others look too human. So, to help with that, I decided to have it in which Hellborns have all one common denominator, in which is having horns of any kind and tails of any kind, while sinners get to have a human-esque features, which you will see in different designs of the cast, and have animal or insect motifs. Because of this change, I have also decided to reconstruct the hierarchy of this realm by having sinners at the lowest rank and thus being treated as either pets or objects, instead of it being imps. But I'll stop there. Alistair's redesign will delve deeper into that. But for now, let's go back to my reimagined version of Charlie. Like I said, I wanted to keep her features very soft, very demure. And when showing this to a dear friend of mine, she said she looks like she would listen to Dolly Parton, which I cannot deny. Jolene was definitely playing in the background when I was working on her. Truly feeding off the sweet country girl in the woods, harvesting the fruits of her labors on a hot afternoon with the sounds of her playlist echoing in the background to fill the empty void, keeping her company as she takes in the sweet smell of grass and wind. And sweet honey pie, she's done. Look at her. I'm loving it because she looks so sweet, like a fresh baked goodie. She definitely looks like she would sit you down at her rustic table, serve you a slice of hot apple pie with a cup of honey cinnamon tea, and listen to your woes while patting you sympathetically on your head while the sounds of Country Roads by John Denver is softly playing in the background. And I just know her hugs are definitely feel like you're being hugged by a massive teddy bear, which tracks because I imagine her height being a good 5'8". Boobas would definitely be in the face. But for now, she's done. Look at her, she's so sweet. But I don't think Charlie is a good name. She needs a new one. But what, I wonder? Oh, I know. Her name will be Luciana. Luciana Monet Morningstar. Sounds rather sophisticated, no? But her nickname would be Lucy. Or Lulu is also acceptable, if you're feeling rather affectionate that day. She honestly doesn't mind, as she loves the little nicknames she gets, which is honestly surprising for a runaway princess like her. Oh. Did I forget to mention that? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what I have planned for next time. But for now, little Earthling, I think that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next one, I'll be talking about our moth girl, Vaggie, and my changes for her. I hope to see you on the other side of the moon. I hope y'all will be safe out there. Bye!